Props and Locks on Fox 10 is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more.
Hey, welcome into Props and Locks presented by FanDuel. I'm Sierra Santos. On this fantastic Friday, we are your headquarters for Super Bowl 56. At least when it comes to making wagers on the big game. And we have boots on the ground in Los Angeles. Our betting bestie, Ben Stevens, host of the Morning After on Sports Grid. First off, you've been on Radio Row this week. Americans are shelling out big bucks. People are expected to spend more than $7 billion on this game. So, quick question, how many people have hit you up for advice?
A lot of people have hit me up for advice this week. I try to give it as sparingly as I can to save my wealth of knowledge for the good folks of the Phoenix area here on Fox 10 on Props and Locks with you, Sierra Santos.
Oh, I love that. You give us the exclusive. All right, yeah, 31 million people plan to place a bet this weekend, so let's get into the line. Rams get the home field advantage as they play host at SoFi Stadium. They are 4.5-point favorites, minus 200 on the money line. The over-under, 48.5. This is obviously the most popular bet that we're going to see.
Yeah, absolutely so. Because of all the props that we have on the FanDuel Sportsbook, over 700, Sierra, there are so many options, but the attention is always going to be who's going to win and who is going to cover and how many points are we going to see. The total dropped from an opening number at 49.5, down by 1 point where it has stood at 48 and a hook. The line opened in LA's favor at 3.5. It got up to 4.5, and for the last 5 to 6 days, it's stuck at Los Angeles, favored by 4 points. Here's a trend you must know about the Super Bowl. In the last 12 Super Bowls, the person and the team to hoist the Lombardi Trophy has also covered the number. 5 favorites, 7 underdogs. We haven't seen a winner who hasn't covered. So if you think the Bengals can win this game outright and cover that number of 4, also sprinkle on the money line as well.
I love it. All right, Kate. So it makes sense, though, that Matthew Stafford is the favorite to win Super Bowl MVP. He's at plus 115, Joe Burrow plus 230, Cooper Kupp plus 550. And if you are feeling very adventurous, Aaron Donald, you see there, plus 1,500.
Yeah, I'm not sure Aaron Donald, although he can wreck a game, is worth your money in the MVP market. But you could make an argument for Cooper Kupp and his value at plus 550. It makes sense that both quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford, the favorite because he plays for the favorite side, and Joe Burrow are the 2 shortest prices on the board. 4 of the last 5 Super Bowl MVPs have played quarterback, 9 of the last 12 a QB as well.
Okay, so I love this play, and we talked about it last week too. It's the result of the first pass. I like the plus money on incompletions or interceptions, but I'm going to ask you for your opinion.
Sierra, have you noticed since that when we talked about it last week, these prices have looked a little bit different, maybe because of what we said on Props and Locks. The FanDuel Sportsbook had to move it accordingly because we spotted such great plus money. I still lean plus money. A smaller bet here, but there's so many outcomes that can happen where you only have the 1 to the yes. And the sharpest people in the industry will say in these yes-no categories for the big game, if they're giving you plus money on the no in such a substantial way, it doesn't hurt to take the risk.
Yeah, there are a lot of yes-no props, but this is actually not one of it because it's a Super Bowl, right? So the first scoring play is also a prop. Touchdown, minus 164, field goal, plus 128, and a safety. You know, I might even put like $1 on this just because, plus 10,000.
We should go back to the Super Bowl between the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos to remember that a safety is always a possibility. The field goal is interesting, knowing how prolific Evan McPherson has been for Cincinnati this postseason. A perfect 12 for 12 in his field goal tries over Cincinnati's 3 games.
So we got the first scoring play, but what about the last? Assuming this thing doesn't go down to a last-minute field goal, which seems to be a trend in this postseason, or a Hail Mary, will the last play be a quarterback kneel and then we're back on these yes-no props? Yes, minus 205, no, plus 166.
What did we just say mere moments ago? A yes-no option when there are so many different ways the no could hit and only one way the yes could hit, and the no is plus 166. Because there are over 700 props, Sierra, I didn't know about this one. I like the plus money.
All right, well, coming up, we got more props. We're back after a quick timeout.
Welcome back to Props and Locks, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook.
The Super Bowl offers a unique chance to bet on props that, well, aren't normally available. And there are literally hundreds of props, from heads or tails on the coin toss to the color of the Gatorade shower, which, by the way, clear/water is favored, which is so boring. All right, but let's bring Ben back to get his expertise on some of the ones that have a little bit more sauce. Okay, maybe sauce isn't the best word. Obscure better describes this one. Will a field goal / extra point hit the upright? Yes, plus 350. No, minus 550. Do you stay away from this, or do you just like sprint the other way?
Well, I think sauce could certainly be a way to describe this prop that has been put up on the screen. I would stay away from this because it is so random, and there are over 700 props available for Super Bowl 56 that you can find other areas of profitability. It can be overwhelming at times, Sierra, so focus on ones that you like a little bit better.
Okay, fair enough. How about, do you like this one? When you look at the team to have most sacks, makes sense that the Rams are minus 230. After all, they have that one guy, Aaron Donald.
Yeah, it makes sense that the Rams are minus 230, especially because 2 games ago, Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times by the Tennessee Titans for the Cincinnati Bengals, but only once last time they played against the Kansas City Chiefs. Minus 230 makes sense there. I don't love the plus money on the Bengals in this prop market, but I do like some sacks for Cincinnati on Sunday.
For sure. Okay, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit. But what will happen first? A sack or a touchdown? The odds favor a touchdown at minus 122.
And this market pretty short when you compare the prices, right? Even money on the sack, only 22 cents of difference for that favorite price of a touchdown. It makes sense, but I do think even money on the sack, especially if the Bengals get the ball to start, could make a ton of sense.
All right, the best part of the show is yet to come because we're going to get your best bets of the week. Sit tight. We're back after a few.
Welcome back to Props and Locks, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook.
All right, time for the reason why we all stay up on a Friday night. Well, not the only reason, but a really darn good one. Ben's best bets of the week. Let's bring him back in. First one, Joe Mixon, over 24.5 receiving yards. And just throwing this out there that I trust you more than ever this week because I feel like you're having these closed door sports betting powwows in LA every single night. Am I right?
Yeah, every single night. That's what I do. When I leave the Super Bowl Media Center in downtown LA, I go back to my hotel, I convene the brightest minds, and we talk about our favorite Super Bowl props. I do love a world, Sierra, where Friday night stops in Phoenix and they just watch this show. But anyway, for Joe Mixon, over 24.5 receiving yards. He's done that in 5 straight for the Bengals. He's averaged 42 yards per game receiving in this 5-game span over in every postseason game. I love the secondary markets on key players for Super Bowl Sunday.
And you all have matching tie-dye t-shirts. That's what I picture in my head at least. All right.
What is happening?
You also like the Joe Burrow over on rushing yards, which is at 10.5 right now.
I think if the Rams get pressure on Joe Burrow, whether they put him on the ground or not, it will allow him to escape the pocket. It's the final game of the year. If he takes off, he's not going to slide or look to get out of bounds. He's going to look for the extra yard or two. Over this number against the Chiefs, he had 25. I like the over on Sunday.
And this is why we love you. Sometimes you really take the road untraveled, and you're feeling Sam Hubbard to get a sack at plus 170.
Sierra, he's had 3 sacks so far this postseason. The only player with 4 was Nick Bosa for the Niners, and now he's out. Plus 170 for a guy that had 2 sacks against the Chiefs, a sack against the Raiders. I think he will make his way and get Stafford on the ground at least once, and it's plus 170. That's worth it. That's worth an extra beer or 2 on Super Bowl Sunday.
All right, so the Rams win?
No, the Bengals win. Plus 166 on the money line.
All right, Ben, California Love is plus 200 to be the first song played at the halftime show. And I know that being a Cali boy yourself, you're loving every minute of this Super Bowl coverage. Thanks as always for dropping the knowledge. And thank you at home for staying up with us. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Until next week, take it easy.